Today I'd like to talk about mudita, which I have spoken of many times here, also in Bangkok, in Rangoon, in the UK, in Serbia, in Hungary, in Singapore, and at Shan State Buddhist University. I have made it my main focus in my own practice and also in spreading the teaching of the Buddha. Why mudita? Mudita is usually celebrated with, is usually associated with celebration for many people. Oh, call mudita, kosadang mudita. So it's associated with celebration. That's good if we celebrate also something ordinary, not just something special and exciting. Something special and exciting, it doesn't come often. When it comes, it's very expensive. It requires a lot of investment. But with something ordinary, to be able to get up in the morning, to use bathroom, to have a shower, to have many choices for a change, for dressing up. These are all very ordinary that you repeat every day. Then breakfast, then doing something that you usually do. For people who have established business, they have put effort into the same business for many years. So it has become ordinary, not so much exciting. Eating, meeting friends, driving mostly the same car, living in the same house with the same people. These are all very, and they have become ordinary. So um, if our heart um, is joyful enough, is mindful enough to celebrate those ordinary moments, then yes, we should associate mudita with celebration. But if celebrations is only defined as special occasion, then mudita, it will not become a habit because it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen frequently. So it will not become a habit. When it's not a habit, when you need it, you can't really summon it. What you get is not so much mudita, but excitement. I have said many times that excitement is not mudita. Mudita is a sense of appreciation, a sense of a sense of being joyful, a sense of being there, a sense of being happy, to have something, to do something, to see something, to hear something. You don't really need to possess something. You don't really need to own something. Of course, we have to own things, basic things. But even if the things that we don't own, we can still feel mudita. So if mudita, this joyful feeling, is defined as widely as possible in that way, then mudita will become um, the standard measurement of happiness. Measurement. How do we measure happiness? Some people they measure that with excitement. When they obtain new thing, when they go to a new place, when they meet new people, when they buy something new, but nothing remains new and fresh forever. Things do change. They become old. I'd like to add one or two things new to mudita today. One thing is that in the absence of mudita, we are like somebody starving, feeling hungry, feeling starved because we don't eat enough, because we don't drink enough. We have problem of dehydration, of starving. Why? Because we have the wrong attitude, the wrong focus. What kind of wrong attitude, wrong focus? Wrong attitude. If you search on YouTube in Thai, in English, in Burmese, all the talks on mudita, we say, to rejoice in somebody's fortune, to rejoice in other people's fortune. That's called mudita. That's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you come to form an opinion, an attitude around that, that's where it starts going wrong. I explain a little bit here because we associate mudita with appreciating other people, not yourself. So you're going to always find it hard to rejoice in other people. You can only rejoice in the people who are really nice to you, who are close to you, who you love. You're going to rejoice in their good fortune. But the people who are not related to you, or worse, who have insulted you before, you never think of mudita. And worse still, you never think of mudita for yourself because you learn that mudita is about rejoicing in somebody else's fortune, good fortune. So whenever I tell people, I encourage people to appreciate themselves, they feel guilty. Having to appreciate themselves, having to congratulate themselves, they feel very guilty. They say, this is not appropriate. We should only appreciate other people. We should congratulate other people. Congratulating ourselves is like boosting self-centered attitude. They argue like that. But my argument is that if you can't appreciate yourself, you're going to find that very hard to appreciate other people. Sometimes we praise them because they are related to us. Sometimes we praise them because we want to motivate them. Sometimes we praise them because they are our boss. Yeah. If you live in the White House, you have to praise American president. You can't condemn him. It's like that. Not appreciating ourselves is like this. I give you a simile. I already gave one on Yom Pung's birthday. It's something like you work very hard all your life so that you can dress well, so that you can eat well. But by the time you buy very nice clothes, you have them in your wardrobe, but you never put them on. You wait until somebody comes along and dresses up for you. The same way, you work hard, you buy all the nice foods, you cook them to your taste. It's cooked, you put them in the plate and on the table in front of you, but you're not eating it. You're waiting until somebody comes along and feeds you your own food. In the same way, we work hard, we achieve things, we don't feel appreciative of ourselves until somebody comes and say, "Oh, Yom Tip, you're really good. Your meditation is very good." If half of the people say that, "Oh, you feel very good," but it's your meditation, it's your hard work. You know it. How hard is it? How much effort you put into that, into getting the right posture. It's your food. And you wait until somebody comes and feed you your own food. The first year I lived in England in 1996, 29 years ago. I was teaching Sunday school, and kids were chatting. And one of the boys who went to private school, the very witty boy, his name is Anthony, and he was talking to his friend, another friend. Why are you trying to feed me my food? I didn't realize at that time. He might have meant something different. He might have said that, okay, his friend is trying to take credit from him, which is not. The credit belongs to him, but his friend is trying to give him that credit. The credit already belongs to him. Now his friend is acting as if he's very generous, giving him some credit for something. I don't remember exactly the content of the conversation because they're very chatty, but that comment, don't try to feed me my own food. That one stuck in my head. And this year, this sentence reappear, okay, is resurfaced in my mind. I link that to mudita. Nearly everyone in the world, we like people praising us. We like people giving us certificate. I'm very happy when I get one. I'm very happy when I get appreciative message. When I get thank you, I'm very happy. But if you look closely, okay, a praise from somebody for what I did is my food, and he's feeding me my food. Until he feeds me, here, I don't feel good enough because I'm not eating the food I have prepared myself, which is already in front of me. I forget to eat that. That is why the majority of the people in the world, they have enough condition to be happy. But a great majority of them are not happy because they are not eating their own food. Instead, they are waiting until somebody comes along and feed them. I I have been explaining mudita many times to Yom Tani at Put the first time you joined my retreat. And maybe Yom Pung also, every year, as far as I remember, I introduce mudita. Okay, this is one point. Something that I haven't spoken of here because this one comes to my mind on this year. Another one is combination of several stories during the Buddha's time from the lives of the great disciples, Mahasangho of the Buddha. One of them, Arahant Anuruddha, one of the 80 Mahasangho Arahant, great disciples. He just did one sitting meditation, just one sitting. His concentration, was very, it became very advanced, that he could see about 1,000 worlds where things are, what people are doing. Nothing is hidden in his mind. His meditation was so successful. Just one sitting. We have been sitting here for 5 days now. And I asked myself, why is so easy? Why that meditation is? During the Buddha's time, there were arahants who had to put in so much effort, and for many years, some of them just like that. And a student of Arahant Anuruddha, Pra Anuruddha, a young novice, a young Samanin, only 7 years old, he never meditated. He never memorized anything, never read anything. He became Arahant at the age of 7. In his life, he never felt any anxiety, any fear, any worry. At the age of 7, he wanted to become a novice. And when Arhat Anuruddha was shaving his hair, when 25% was shaved, he became Sotapan, half Sakataka. 3 fourth Anagami, the last shaving Arhat. He never had to meditate. And why so easy? Never listened to a Dhamma talk. Never read anything. He never knew any meditation retreat. And he could fly, he could conquer powerful animals. But he lived very simple. So some of the monks who were not enlightened yet, they didn't know that he was already Arahant. Sometimes they play with him, sometimes they pat him on the back, sometimes on his head like that. That the Buddha um, the Buddha saw that many monks didn't know his achievement because they themselves hadn't achieved. If we don't achieve um, something, we cannot understand the person who has achieved that. Some people think, some people, who never meditate, they think you cannot achieve anything these days. You have to wait for the next Buddha because they never meditated. They don't believe in the power of meditation, in the transformative power of meditation. Even the 4 stages, somebody who achieved the first one, the first step, the first stage, he would know only people at the same level. He cannot really judge somebody above him. A gentleman called Visakha, not Visakha. Visakha is a lady. Visakha is a gentleman. And he became Anagami, listening to the Buddha. And he went back home. He went back, he was not interested in his wife. And then his wife got upset. But then she told her that he has changed after listening to the Buddha. Then she asked him, is it only for a man? Can a woman also achieve the same? Yes. So she went to the Buddha. Very soon she became Arhat. She became Bhikkhuni Dhammatina. But the husband didn't believe. When she came back to talk to him, he didn't believe. So he put some practical question towards her. Okay, I know she has a chip, Sudama. Another question. I know she has a chip. Sakata. Another question. I know she has a chip. Anagami. But the former wife continued to explain something. Now he doesn't understand. He can no longer understand. And he doesn't accept. You see, already Arya, already noble, already the third stage. So he had to go to the Buddha to get that verified. This is to say, even Anagami doesn't know the mind of Arahant. So going back to Mudita, the monks who have not achieved at that time, they didn't know this 7 years old novice. They didn't know his power. They didn't know his meditation achievement because he was playing like a boy, a small boy. You can imagine Nong Kun 7 years old playing. It's exactly the same age. So the Buddha had to ask all the monks, 500 of them in Savatthi in Chetawan, to bring him some water from a very far, from a lake very far. Somebody has, if you want to do that, you have to have supernormal power. So one by one, the whole the none could do. So it came to the last one, the smallest one. And I will do that. Then so he flew and took some water from a lake. More story in the Dhammapada story. Um, I think some of the brain time candidate they have to study this story. It's called Sumana Samnera Watu. Only then other knew other knew that he was not a normal boy anymore. My interest there, why is so easy? Why is so easy for him? The reason was due to mudita in his previous lives. He was a rich man, he was the boss. He was given seti, status seti is 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 a social status bestowed on you by the king. Simply you have money, you can call yourself seti. Those days. So this small novice, he was a seti. He was bestowed upon this position. He was bestowed by the king. You know, because of his contribution, because of his success, economic success. And Pra Anurut at that time was one of his employees, very poor. The boss, he had, today we call this agriculture. So you rear a lot of animals, you produce milk and all sorts of things. So Pra Anuruddha, he just cut grass and sold that to this rich man. The rich man, he took back, okay, he offered alms every day. But this poor man, he wanted to do the same, but he couldn't afford. He only had one meal a day, only one meal. If he donated, he would be left with nothing to eat. But in his heart, okay, he was inspired to offer alms to um, any monk going around collecting alms. So one day he saw a Pajjaka Buddha walking in the morning for his alms, for his food. When he saw the aspiration became mudita. Now, because he hasn't eaten that day, I have something to eat at home. Now I see a monk. Sometime when I had something to offer, I didn't see monks. When I saw monks, I didn't have anything to offer. Today I have so he was so impatient. He went to ask, have you got enough food for today? Before the answer, before any answer, he was so impatient. He went and looked into the bowl. Oh, you haven't got any. Please come to my house. Please follow me. I would like to offer you. So the monk followed him. At home, he he asked for his portion of food from his wife, and he was about to put everything. Halfway, the monk, okay, cover his bowl. He said, enough, half is enough. The other half you can have, because looking at his heart, the monk knew straight away that he wouldn't have anything left. The gentleman said, as um, don't don't try to take care of me today. Please take care of me and life after life, life after life, so that I will never be reborn as poor as like this. This is enough only for one person. If we take half each, none of us would have enough. So today, I will forgo my lunch. Please accept all this. So the monk also accepted all. He was so happy. Before he could, before he was offering, he was already in mudita. Now during the time he was offering, the monk said, half is enough. He could have stopped that. But no, because his mudita was so strong that he persisted to offer the whole, to offer everything he had on the day. We are told by the scripture, Dhammabot Atakatha, and that Tevata, the angels, they also rejoice in that. They notice that, including the angel um, who have a position to take care of the prestigious um, a kind um, like the white umbrella that the king bestowed on the gentleman and other associated um, belongings. So the the boss, the gentleman, he noticed now. He didn't become jealous. He didn't it didn't cross his mind that okay, um don't overstate things, don't go over the top, that sort of thing. Okay? Don't go over the top. You only have you have only done this once and offering alms, offering binded bath to a monk. I have done this many times every day. This thought never crossed his mind. He never compared himself with the poor man. Instead, he rejoiced and rejoiced. He was so surprised and also taken aback by that with joy. So he wanted to get the same kind of special merit or boon from his employee. But this time he's talking to him as a businessman. So can you sell your boon to me? Can you sell your merit to me? The poor man said, no, if I sell it to you, I wouldn't be having any of this. I like this. I treasure this. Then please share with me. So in the end, he shared with his boss. The boss, okay, not just sadhu. He gave half of his belonging, setting setting up a company for him. You can see how um, how really joyful he was. Okay, he was feeling for somebody else's good action. The good thing, remember this one, people who have business, from that moment onwards, whatever they do, they never have to work very hard. Of course, they may work hard, but they never face obstacles. This is people who would who would kind of make your life difficult, who would become detrimental towards your success, who um, who feel threatened by your effort, by your success. They never met those people from that day. It says one, no, 100,000 Ian is more than 100,000 lives. Both of them, they have never been reborn in hell, only in human world and heaven. The thing is that sometimes they were reborn as administrators running maybe um, a district, a town, a province, a country. they don't usually have people opposing their ideas. People are really, really willing to follow them. You see, so if you have mudita, you will have an easy time talking to your kids, talking to your family, talking to your employees. Mudita. How do you feel when you feel mudita? You feel at ease, at ease. You see somebody doing really well sitting next to you, you feel at ease with this person. Some people, they feel uncomfortable. Some people feel inferior. Some people feel threatened by the person successful sitting next to them. If you feel uneasy, that means life will become uneasy. You feel easy, life becomes easy. So the poor man, he had three adhitthana and three wishes. The first one is, may I never face poverty, okay, poverty like this ever again. That's a good one. The second one is a bit more ambitious. It's about this, about the same topic, about have and have not. Is that okay? May I never know the word no. May I never hear the word no. That means if you ask your mom, whatever you ask your mom will never say no. Your mom will never say no because she has everything, everything for you. Second, the third one, may I realize the Dhamma easily, easy, the word easy, okay, with ease. Sometimes you admire hardworking meditators. From today, you should admire Pra Anuruddha and Arahant Sumon. You should admire them. And you should follow their mudita practice. From this retreat onward, I'm not going to teach anything difficult. So the first day I told you, see, yes. If you practice mudita, it has to be easy. But practice mudita. Sometimes because we are biased towards the word, the description, vipassana, we think mudita is not vipassana. So we are not that enthusiastic. We think we will miss out our vipassana if we do too much mudita. I tell you one thing. If you observe your posture, you observe, and see my sitting, my hips are lower than so I cannot sustain this. So if you sit properly and maintain comfortable and steady posture, you check your posture again and again, and you apply this in mudita meditation. You apply this in mudita. You go through all the 5 groups I have explained many times in the previous retreat. Yourself, your loved ones, and then extend it to your maybe colleagues, and then to neutral people, the last one, to the people you have negative feelings with, people you don't like, people you think have caused you some harm. If you go through them, be mindful of your posture, check your posture from time to time. If you have difficulty, if you can't get into mudita, if you have negative reaction, check your posture. Check your posture. Correct your posture. Accept the postures has changed. Accept that there is negative reaction. Accept that they are related, and then come back the right posture. If the posture is correct, you are going to get through all the 5 with ease. And it's easier than before. Every day, I chant Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujupripan and so on. The whole stanza 108 times. For a few times, I have in my mind Pra Arahant Anurut. For a few times of Supatipanno, I have Pra Arahant Sumon Samane in my mind. I develop sattva every day. Not only that, there's another Arahant who lived 160 years. Arahat Phagula. You know who I'm talking about. There is, during the Buddha's time, the longest living monk. He was 160. He became a monk at the age of 80. And he lived as a monk another 80. He never had to work. He was born as the son of a very rich family. And then, when the nanny was bathing him in the river Ganges, he was snatched away by a big fish. But the fish, with this baby in his tummy, he could the fish couldn't stay still. It became very hot inside. So he ran away, ran down, and it got caught. And then it got auctioned because it was so big. Another rich family in another place down the river bid for that, and they got that. When they caught the fish, they saw baby. They didn't have baby, so they were very happy. The story goes that the original family was looking for that. Now they petitioned to the king that was their son. You know what the king decided? Let this boy belong to 2 rich families. And they accepted that. They didn't quarrel. And the king said, stay here, okay, with this family for 4 months. After 4 months, they had to take him through boat those days with palms and fairs, with many people. Until they reached there, it took about 3 or 4 months. So he stayed, no, about 2 months. So he reached there. He stayed with the other family for 2 months, for 4 months, and they bring him back. He lived his life like that for 80 years. Never had to work. At the age of 80, he became a monk. This story is very famous because he never got sick. Even a headache, he never had it. He lived 160. For 80 years, okay, as a monk, he lived half of the year with his family, another half with the other family. They all took him, they were all very happy taking care of, very proud to do that. So he was the one who has never been on Bindabat because of the two families. And the robes never received from anyone else. The two families. Meditation on the 8th day after, in the morning of the 8th day after his ordination, he became Arahant. Very easy also. In one of his previous lives, the Buddha and many Arahants in the forest, they were not well. And he was a Rusi, he was ascetic. He found some medicine for them. He made some medicine for them. So he donated medicine for them. And he was so happy. Mudita. Another life, he was a rich man. So with all his employees, a lot of employees, he went into the forest to cut. He wanted to cut the best wood to make the best house. He was passing a temple, a run-down temple. Now he stopped and started thinking, shall I cut the wood for my house or shall I repair this temple? After a while, he decided that he wouldn't build his house. His house was already big. That he would repair them. When he repaired, during the time the construction work was ongoing, he became so and so happy, a lot of mudita, that he decided to also build some new building. Afterwards, always mudita. Whenever he thought about it, he felt mudita. You can see because of those two good deeds accompanied with strong mudita. So life after life, he was very healthy. He never needed to visit a doctor. 160 years old. Arahant Pranurut is the second longest, 150 during the Buddha's time. In the other great disciples, most of them 120. So I recite Subhatipanno Bhagavato. I have this Arahant in my mind. I honor him, Subhatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Ujjupatipanno Bhagavato until the end. A few times, sometimes about 15, 20 times. And since the other day when I spoke to Yom Orapin, and at the end of that chanting, I do metta for Yom Orapin, like that. What I'm trying to tell you is that mudita makes your life a lot easier. As we check our posture, okay, whenever we feel uneasy, we should check our mudita. We have a lot to feel mudita for. If we eat in the, I was walking because the doctor asked me to walk as much as possible due to vitamin D deficient. I was walking and I saw the people preparing for our breakfast there. But they don't grow. There are farmers who grow them. There are people who make it possible for those produce to be sold in the market. The first, you feel mudita for yourself, for arranging this retreat, for having the facility, for being able to afford. And then you appreciate, you feel mudita for other people, including when you have your coffee. People, it's a hard work to grow coffee, to grind the sugar. It's very hard. Very hard. When I was young, I saw my father doing that. In the coffee, you have coffee mug, you have spoon. They come from two different factories. And then coffee, you may put just 1 or 2 spoons, but again, it comes from maybe more than one factory. Look at the process. And then the packing, the label, the computing section, people who produce compute many things, or that 1 or 2 spoons of coffee to be there ready when you need it. So if you develop more mudita in daily life, your work, whatever you do is going to be a lot smoother. It's going to be a lot easier. And certainly your meditation is going to be a lot easier. I practice harsh breathing, forced breathing. And they look at my posture. Well, the posture is very good, but they cannot read my mind. They cannot read any sign according to their experience. They say, they look at my posture, my indriya, it looks different. And many of their experience here, they say, okay, whatever I realize, I'm going to realize through mudita. Mudita. So let's see how this mudita can become vipassana, because now an hour, right? How it can become vipassana. When you observe, first you have to focus on people. focus on people. Awareness of people. If you become aware of your awareness, meaning you become aware of your focusing mind. You're focusing on group 1, on group 2, on group 3, on 4, on group 5. If you are aware of that, as if another person is watching, that is mindfulness, not simple awareness, but mindfulness. When you become aware of that, the focus on people withdraw. There will be the focus of the awareness, the focus of feeling. Then the focus on, okay, can you look at this one? This one, this is one object, this is another object, two objects. This is another object, three objects. If this is group 1 yourself, this is mudita. You think about your hard work, your progress, and you feel mudita. So two things. This is object. This is mudita. Mudita feeling, mudita mind. If you check your posture, if your posture is all right, you can extend it to that point. You will see that you're feeling mudita for yourself. This is to say, sometimes when you observe, and you see just one object, you see just pain. As explained yesterday, that's awareness. But if you see more than one link, more than that, this pain is persisting because I label this experience as pain. If I stop labeling this experience as pain, now I only observe that labeling mind, that naming mind. I see one step before the pain. I see one step before the pain. Or I see the cause of the pain. In the same way here, we usually we focus on mudita. We think about something nice, we appreciate it, and we feel mudita. We feel mudita. But if you check your posture every 3 or 4 minutes, it's going to help you to see a bigger picture. In Thai, ความสังเกต or the observation ability will come. You will be able to observe more, not just focus on mudita, but the effort to develop mudita, for example, or the mind that is focused on certain event in life. When you see more than one link, you are approaching vipassana. So the key is to develop proper mindfulness. That is why in Metta Sutta that we chant once in the morning, once in the etang sating adite. in the 8 setting. Okay, Atitaya. We should establish sati. It says, if we establish sati, it titinja anupakama. There will be no personalizing, no naming of the mudita as me, no naming of mudita as group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5 anymore. There remains only mudita. There remains only good deeds, because this good deeds, this is mudita. People, persons, individuals, they will not be prominent anymore. They will not take the center stage anymore. There are times, if you go through mudita, a few rounds, 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 5, there remains only that mudita feeling. You don't even remember sometimes whether you're working on group 1 or group 5. Because the barrier in between have been dismantled, have been destroyed, have been removed. The barrier between group 1 and group 2, group 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. We discover the barrier in terms of like and dislike. As we work on them, we improve our posture. As we improve our posture, it's easier to work on like and dislike. Titinja anupakama silawa tasanena sampanno. That's Sotapan. That indicate that passage means through metta that you achieve Sotapan. Nahi jatu kapasaya unaretiti. Some people say that's anagami. Some people say that's arahant. Because you're going to see mudita coming and going, appearing and disappearing. You can also observe anicca then, impermanence then. I think people who observe or who are strong with mudita, it may be easier for them to realize anatta. Because to rejoice in other people's good fortune, you can have very strong atta, very strong ego. So naturally, mudita reduces self-centered attitude, self-centered behavior, personalization tendency. All of those things are called atta. Any question or comment? Or if you want to share your mudita?
This is quite difficult. I would like
Mudita is supposed to be easy.
easy, but yeah, to do it as vipassana, as Pajan.
No, I was explaining just as encouragement. You don't have to go for that. You just practice posture, and mudita together. It will lead you to that point.
Today when I did mudita, and then when you go from group to group, right? And then it start to drop the person. And then you have the feeling of joyful, or you feel happy. And you see that happiness is also arise and ceasing. And that's it. That is all like doing mudita. It's you only feel the feeling of happiness and joyful appreciation. And you see that, and then you see that it's not permanent. And this is all, or there are more to see.
What more do you want?
Or maybe Pajan said you can see that when you have mudita and you feel the mind has concentration, or
I'm going to explain one way because you want to know something new. And when we can do mudita with group number one, not group number two, that's because of attachment. Attachment. Positive attachment to positive feeling with group number one. Attachment to negative feeling with the second group. You see, it's all attachment. And when we can crack into the second group, mudita of the second group, you can see that that attachment is being reduced. Some people think detachment or the abandoning of attachment has to be very hard. You have to abandon everything. The abandonment is the behavior of the mind. And look, group 4, for example, you don't really know them. And now, when you can feel mudita for them, that means you don't expect anything in return. You're just happy for them because they are good, because they work hard, because they achieve something. For that reason, so now this is very pure already, very pure heart. You see? That purity comes about because you're able to let go, you're able to abandon, you're able to detach from something. Some people, if they have something nice, say they have chocolate, they think about the people they love. Okay, never the people in group 4 neutral people. When you have something nice like chocolate, certainly not the people in group number 5. Yeah. But to be able to do mudita for all the group, that means the clinging, the attachment to my people, my friends, that attachment is reduced. You love yourself, you love your family, your friends without attachment. This is the good thing about mudita.
Today, I'm not sure if I see the link. When I practice walking meditation, and my mind was wandering, keep wandering, go on and off. So I keep checking my posture, and I feel the urge, strong urge to stop thinking, like anger, and so let's just recognize it, and uh, I all of a sudden I just feel that, oh, the urge, the naming mind is like another extreme. When I like enjoy thinking, is another extreme. So it's too extreme. So I start just observe the thinking, just keep checking posture, and um, the thinking was went away. And also in the past, when I practice walking meditation, I was only focused on the step left and right, and focus strongly on the movement of the feet. Now when I check my posture, I like see big picture, and I can see like sometimes thinking and sometimes like breathing, and the cloth touching my body. And I think it's like this way we can practice in daily routine more easier and more natural, because otherwise I have to walk very, very slowly. Okay. That's all.
That's good. So long you look at the wandering mind through posture. You're going to catch your wandering mind at a very early stage. When you catch that at a very early stage, it has not matured, it has not become strong. That means it's not um, passing its energy, not so much energy, to the next thought. If we get lost in one thought, we use a lot of energy, and the energy of one thought is passed to the next and to the next to the next so quickly that we lost the moment. When we get lost in our thoughts, 20 minutes is nothing, 30 minutes is nothing. It looks, time flies because um, a certain thought becomes more and more powerful as a stream of thoughts. So if you check, even during walking, the posture and the thought, the wandering mind and the posture, if you check like that, the wandering mind or the emotion, the negative emotion, they wouldn't last long. That's how to weaken them before we can uproot them.
ค่ะพระอาจารย์ค่ะ I want to ask how to motivate yourself to practicing mudita. What I'm practicing today, I learned that I have two questions. The first question is, when I'm practicing starting from self for 5 level, so it's very easy to practicing mudita at the first round sessions. But when I practicing the next sections, I run off my memory. I mean, I try to create more people in each individual group, but the feeling of mudita, it's very dry. It's not really.
I'd like to interfere here. You think the first round was mudita feeling? Maybe to a certain extent, but a lot of it is the feeling of excitement. Excitement, not in the sense of dancing, jumping around like that, but appreciating when something is new. But when you have to repeat that again and again, that particular experience, that feeling loses its magic, and you can't really connect to that anymore. That boredom. So when you experience that, check your posture in sitting. Okay, how your posture is. That feeling, that boredom, the feeling of boredom and posture. Earlier, what you think was the feeling of mudita and the posture.
So thank you. And the second question is, when I follow the group for 5 group, for example, when I first start with myself, thinking about joyful achievement and happiness, but it seemed to be my feeling it's expanded to other persons would be okay that it's practicing like this. For example, I saying that I really enjoy happy when I'm drinking coffee, and the same example that Prajan just mentioned. I also thinking about thank you for the people who bring a good coffee.
Very good. Okay. This is what I would like to encourage you to do tomorrow. The interdependence. How interdependent we are. When we practice mudita, we come to see this. If you look at a very simple piece of clothes, my robe, the people who produce a dye, a color, the people who produce thread, the people who transport it, and the people who sew it, the people who produce the sewing machine, and all those things, they are interdependent. When we rejoice or when we give time and appreciation to as many people as possible, the desire to be unique becomes less and less. Sometimes we really want to be prominent and unique, that we don't feel comfortable acknowledging the role played by other people. So we like to claim all the credit ourselves. Because we are unique, and if people recognize us as being unique, then we feel happy. You can see how ego works. When you think you are unique, you are isolating yourself. Sometimes you think your happiness is unique. Other people, they don't know this feeling. They don't have this feeling. If you think like that, you're isolating yourself, even when you're feeling good. And you can also isolate yourself when you feel sad. Like in the workplace, and no one really understands my sadness, what I go through. None of them understand me. If you feel like this, you're using that sadness you're using that stress, that sorrow to isolate yourself. So atta is isolation. But when we come to see that we are so much related, we are so much connected, we are so much interdependent. Now we are not isolating ourselves anymore. We find more commonality. As a result, we feel we have more friends. So atta, in one way, is tackled through mudita. If you can feel something good in all the 5 groups, you do this again and again, again and again, then the feeling of uniqueness is not necessary anymore. In that sense, mudita helps us to understand anatta without using the word, without using the word anatta. In the same way, when we practice karuna, from group 1 to group 5, less and less we come to think that our suffering is unique. Before, we used to think our suffering is unique. No one understands us. When we think no one else understands us, we are isolating ourselves because no one understands you. That means you're alone. You make yourself to feel lonely. So psychologically, if you feel lonely, because you want to feel unique, and if people have one unfortunate incident, they will think about that again and again. They think, they create an identity, a unique identity around that unfortunate incident. And they think they are the only one who have gone through this kind of experience. No one else knows, no one else has any idea about this. The moment we are confronted with pain, with suffering, with problem, this unique feeling occurs, and that isolates us straight away. So when somebody comes and talk to us, and when we have feeling this person understand me, so now we feel less lonely. The mind is not isolating itself. And at least we have one person who you think understands you. That's how counseling works. When you talk to a counselor, you think, oh, this person understand my problem. He accepts that my problem is big, is serious. So you feel good. The counselor hasn't done anything for you. But counselors, they do what they are good at. They listen, they prompt you, they help you to see your own thinking, your own feeling. So in the hospitals, people put cancer survivor together. They form association. Before that, they thought they were alone. But when they saw so many people, they come to have an automatic view that I'm not alone like that. I used to talk about this when I broke my leg in Singapore. It took a long time for the um, ambulance to come because they asked me, "Can you walk? Can you stand?" I said, "Yes." "Can you walk?" "I can walk a little bit." So I was not a priority. It took, I think, about 2 hours before they came. And so I was a little bit frustrated already because I thought I had a lot of to do, and this was so inconvenient, and uh, my you know my ankle problem, my broken ankle problem was really unique until I was transported to Dhammasami Hospital to um, have an X-ray and then to wait to see doctor. It's a room full of broken people. Some people they broke their hand, some people they broke their hips, some people 2 legs, some people 1 leg. Had this. Sitting next to them, I forgot. I broke my leg. And when my turn came, he looked at the X-ray. "Are you not in pain?" I said, not that much. I don't feel that much. It's broken. Are you not in pain? And then he pressed where it was broken. Oh, I said, oh, it's painful now. I forgot. I forgot the pain because there's just so many people like me. Some of them a lot worse than me. You see something in common with other people. So common experience is called anatta. It's called anatta. If you think this retreat is better than the other retreat, it's not anatta. We are not realizing anatta. If you think our meditation practice is better than other people's practice, you want your practice to become unique, to be recognized as being unique. In that way, you're isolating yourself. You can even isolate yourself in that way. Mainly people isolate themselves with suffering. I think we stop here.